There's a scene from a movie called Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where Indiana Jones is on his way into the temple to find the Holy Grail to save his father, who had been shot by the Nazis. He has to overcome various trials on his way into the temple, and he finally comes to this room which has this gigantic chasm of black nothingness down below that he has to somehow find a way across, as there's no bridge connecting the two. So he looks in his father's diary and he sees a drawing of a man taking a step out into the black abyss, which then tells him to take a leap of faith. Dr. Jones puts his foot out cautiously and takes a step, only to find that there had actually been a bridge there all along, and it had only been camouflaged into the surroundings so that it looked like there wasn't one there. Dr. Jones took the leap of faith and was able to reap the reward of finding the Holy Grail and thus saving his father. In our life, we take a lot of leaps of faith, though we don't always recognize it. Sometimes those leaps of faith are giant leaps of faith where we don't know exactly where we're going to land, or they're small ones where we know where we're going to land, and it's just taking that step that's needed. When I was a kid, I was pretty shy growing up. I was a wallflower. I didn't really say a whole lot. Kept to myself mostly, but that all changed when I took part in the high school talent show. In high school, I decided to perform a comedy routine. Now, I didn't actually write my own material. I stole it from other people. I gave them credit, don't worry, but I delivered this comedy routine and it actually worked. I took the leap of faith and I put myself in that position, and I was successful. So successful, actually, that my classmates were quoting it back to me the following day. I took that leap of faith and was successful. Personal development philosopher Gilbert Ross says, "A true leap of faith takes courage not because of the act itself, but because it arises out of our breaking free from this fundamental fear." That's the fear of the unknown. I had no idea how the audience was going to react to this routine, but I put myself in that vulnerable position and I was successful. But not every leap of faith is going to lead to an apparent success. In college, I decided to take a leap of faith and stay home instead of continuing with my original plans, which was to move to St. Paul to pursue a degree in church music. I did this because my father was battling cancer and I wanted to be close to home in case something happened. When he did pass away during my first semester, I ended up dropping out of school completely. I took a leap of faith and I ended up failing. I did feel like a failure. But I learned something from that leap of faith, and I learned that just because you fail doesn't mean that you're a failure. See, I took this leap of faith and it didn't end the way that I was expecting it to end. But had I not taken this leap of faith, I never would have met my wife, never would have had my 2 children that I have, nor would I have had the successful career that I've had with my company, where I started as a entry-level position and ended up in a management role. I actually became very blessed. Just because I took the leap of faith and didn't end in the spot that I thought I was going to end doesn't mean that I shouldn't have taken that leap. I ended up on a different path that I had never saw myself ending up on, and I've been blessed because of it. However, Dr. Jim Taylor, who teaches psychology at the University of San Francisco, said, "The leap of faith begins with the conviction that you don't want to go down the path that your current life has been taking you any longer, that your life just isn't working out for you any longer." After all the success, I felt that I could still do more to accomplish the goal that I had my entire life, and that being of entering church work. So I took another leap of faith, this one actually fairly big. In July of last year, I signed up for classes at Concordia University, Wisconsin. I took this leap of faith because of something that happened about a year prior to that. I was on a team outing with the leadership team at my company at some adventure park. There were zip lines and trust falls involved, those kind of things. But there was one particular exercise that we did that really resonated with me. And what it was this log that was sticking out of the ground and was a good deal high. You had to climb up to get to the top of the log. Once you got on top of that log, you had to jump out and grab a trapeze bar. It wasn't very far out. I probably could have leaned out and grabbed it with my hand if I was daring enough, but the goal was when you jumped to grab onto this bar, you were supposed to say one goal or one dream that you have that you want to accomplish. They actually called this exercise the leap of faith. So I climbed up to the top of the log and I stood up there and I looked at the bar and I readied myself and I took the jump, grabbed on the bar, and as I was jumping I said, I want to go back to school. When I came down, my thought was consumed. I'd actually made my decision at that point to start pursuing going back to college. And in July last year, I actually did. I started taking classes at Concordia University, Wisconsin. Now, I actually wouldn't have been very successful in this venture had it not been for the people around me. See, Dr. Taylor also says, you must also understand that this leap of faith is not blind faith. Rather, you have a lifetime of knowledge and skills that you can marshal to change your life. Hopefully, you also have extensive resources, family, friends, and other forms of support to bolster your effort. I'd had a lot of people come up to me and encourage me after finding out that I'd signed up for classes. They came up and said, we're so happy that you're going back. Let us know if there's anything that we can do to help. Sometimes when you take that leap of faith, it's nice to have that support. Kind of like crowd surfing. You know, when the guy on stage jumps out onto the crowd and all these hands go up, he's taking a leap of faith, hoping that the crowd will support him so that he doesn't fall to the ground. It's kind of the same concept. When you have that support system, you take that leap of faith, all those hands reach up to hold you up so that you can accomplish your goal. So take those leaps of faith. You're not always going to have the success that you dream of having, but that doesn't mean that you're going to fail either. You just might end up on a different path than what you expected. And always, always look for that support to help you accomplish these goals. Thank you.